Well, greetings, friends. This is the prelude before the show starts. And while it's just us, some of you will know that I'm a real bug about having people sing. I think people ought to sing as much as possible. And so I thought today I would show you one of the vocal exercises that I do. I live in a house that is not what you'd call very soundproof. So in the morning, when I want to vocalize, I go out to the garage and sit in the car. We have a Prius, and I always thought that would be a good ad for Prius. Prius turns vocal studio. But anyway, so that I won't make a lot of noise, I do sometimes vocalizing with the lips closed, and it's amazing what happens. It's hard to be really tight and tense when the lips are closed. So I'll go, if you open them up, the sound can sometimes make you want to tighten things up. So if you keep that lip closed, you can sing all across the range and not make a whole lot of noise. And you can even do that when you're just hanging out around the house. You know, you're doing housework. So anyway, that's Medema's little vocal tip for the day. Have lots of goodies for you today. I don't know if we're going to be able to have a story or an improvisation. I'm welcoming stories, if you have them, about how you're coping with all the changes in our lives. What kind of insights are you gaining? What's new? We may have a chance to actually sing a story, but if we don't, I'll certainly read them afterward, and they can become a part of next week's concert. By the way, next week's concert, it will be called Juxtaposition. These things that come together that you don't normally expect, maybe do. Old things and new things and all kinds of things. So there you go. That's where we're headed. And the first, we begin with some Bach. I told you before, Bach is my very favorite of all composers on the face of the planet. I think one could live a whole life just with the music of Bach. So here we go, tapping to Bach. Since I can't tap dance, this is the closest I can come. First song is the title song on the newest vocal album. The album's called Nothing Like the Rain. And you know, we have a lot of issues about rain in California. Our rainy season is well over now, and it won't start again until, October, maybe November. I've always been intrigued with rain, and so here goes Nothing Like the Rain. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a fun night. Okay, here we go. She's late And it's a 3-block walk from the parking lot to the interview that can change her life. 3 long years without a job. She's been thinking all day long about what to wear. Checks the sky, knows it's close. Hopes she makes it in before the pouring rain. But the sky breaks loose relentlessly and she stands there saying, God, it's just not fair. No, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. Well, he grew up poor and dirty. Now he lives near San Francisco on a lofty hill. And every night he's in his hot tub, drinking red wine, looking out across the bay. And he cannot know that starting in the morning there'll be 4 days of torrential rain. And a week from now he'll be weeping for the castle that the mudslide took away. No, there's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. He's a worker on a cattle station deep inside the great Australian continent, where the hot sun bakes the desert sand, and he wonders when the time of wet will come. And through all the months of dry, he prays and dreams the sound of rain upon the barren ground. And when at last it comes, he sings and dances to watch the desert bloom. There's nothing like the rain. Falls on the just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. Oh, there's nothing like the rain. Just and the unjust just the same. There goes the hair, there goes the face, there goes the elegance, there goes the grace. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. Oh, there's nothing like, oh, there's nothing like the rain. I've known lots of people who have talked to me about what it's like to be married. And the overwhelming consensus in all the conversations that I've ever had, which is supported by my own life experience, mine and my wife's, is that love is not easy. And on my album called Sea Change, which was 2007, I think, there was this whole cadre of people I had been talking to, and we got to talking about how difficult marriage was and how challenging it was to keep things fresh and to find new patterns, to find new ways of being together. So this song rose out of all that. I almost never sing it. It's called Loving for Life. So let me show you and see what you think. I saw you from a distance, put up my best resistance. You walked right through those walls, right down into the halls and chambers of this heart. I was not good at romance, frightened to take the big chance. But when you said you loved me, sun lit the skies above me and gray clouds fell apart. My soul with fire, woke up some new desire. You took my breath away. I was a child at play and running down the shore. Then came the hard discoveries, flash fights with slow recoveries, the signs we kept misreading, our fragile egos bleeding all across the floor, all across the floor. Love, we think we found it, like children we play around it, rings and flowers and soulmate magic. Then in time we learn the tragic truth, love's no instant savior, love is a mighty labor, love destroys the faint of heart. Love can tear a soul apart, rearrange the scattered pieces, put them back together once again. Gray days of contemplation, long nights of conversation, playing in our heads the things we should have said to really make things right. The times we turned to strangers, carelessly played with danger, the bruised and broken trust. The times we said we just might give it up tonight. Both our hearts believe this, we do not want to leave this. The stumbling and the leaping, the laughing and the weeping, the pleasure and the pain. This is the work we're choosing, the finding and the losing. We dress in tattered dreams, but in good time these dreams are mended once again, mended once again. Love, we think we found it, like children we play around it, rings and flowers and soulmate magic. Then in time we learn the tragic truth, love's no instant savior, love is a mighty labor, love destroys the faint of heart, love will tear your soul apart, rearrange the scattered pieces, put them all together once again. I guess it all comes down to this. Sometimes I wish there were an easier way. I will take the shadows and the demons and the fears. If I can find a true love buried here. If I can find a true love buried here. Buried here, love, we think we found it. Like children we play around it. Rings and flowers and soulmate magic. And in time we learn the tragic truth. Love's no instant savior. Love is a mighty labor. Love destroys the weak of heart. Love will tear your soul apart. Rearrange those scattered pieces. Put them all together once again. It's 55 years for Jane and for me. It's a long time. What's the next piece up on the rostrum, Sonia?
Next is Dance in the Crossroads.
Ooh, Crossroads. Okay. This song was the theme song for a Lutheran youth event back in 2000. We did it in the TWA Dome in St. Louis. I had the pleasure of being part of the leadership for the house band. Our theme was Dancing in the Crossroads. And so this song became the theme song for the convention. Make sure the levels are all right. Yep. I think we're good. This song became the theme song for the convention, and I'm preluding it with these wonderful words sung by Leanne Womack. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. And when one door closes, I hope another one opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And if you have the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you. Am I afraid? Frightened of changes I cannot see? Why do I hide from all the wonders waiting for me? Come take my hand. You are my friend, we're strangers no more. Help me to stand. I hear the music beyond the door. Come and dance here at the crossroads, holy ground and sacred land. Come and dance here with your best friend, or maybe take a stranger's hand. Come surrender to the rhythm, though it means you. Take a chance, take the step, take the risk, come and dance. Tell me your name, tell me your thoughts, and tell me your dreams. There is no shame. We're not as different as we may seem. I hear the drum. Look in the spotlight, see how we shine. That's why we've come. You show me your step, I'll show you mine. dance here with your best friend, or maybe take a stranger's hand. Come surrender to the rhythm, though it means you take a chance, take the step, take the risk, come and dance. Master of dance, rhythm of life and life without end, tempo and time, music and movement, teacher and friend, beat on your drum now. Show us again each step and each move till we become joined in the dance of unending love. Come and dance here at the crossroads, holy ground and sacred land. Come and dance here with your best friend, or maybe take a stranger's hand. Come surrender to the rhythm, though it means you take a chance, take the step, take the risk. Come and dance here at the crossroads, holy ground and sacred land. Come and dance here with your best friend, or maybe take a stranger's hand. Come surrender to the rhythm, though it means you take a chance, take the step, take the risk, take the step, take the risk. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. And if one door closes, I hope that another one opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And if you have the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you'll dance. Oh, tell me what's next.
Kingdom in the Street.
All right. This is wow. This is a story, and people do with the story what they need to do with it. It's a story about power and letting go of power. It's a story about the separation between the city and those places that are not inner city. It's a story. It could be a story about, it could be an allegory about the church. It could be simply an allegory about the ways we live in these times. So I give you this story. It's called The Kingdom in the Street. I give you the story. Do with it as you will. It is a story. You can figure out what it needs to mean. The song was actually birthed in 1978. We were living in New Jersey at the time, had a rather interesting household. We had 3 families living in this house together. Jane and I and our 2 children, Rachel, had just been, no, not quite been born yet. And Aaron was, 10 years old, I think at the time, 11. And then we had another family with a daughter, and then we had another couple. So it was a big old household full of people. And I was on my way to a college student retreat in North Carolina. And one of our housemates, who was young and sassy, said, "Okay, Medema, I dare you to play Bruce Springsteen's Racing in the Streets at this nice religious conference. I said, okay, I'll do you a compromise. I'll use Springsteen's tune, but I'll make different words. Well, I did that. And of course, I couldn't go any further with Bruce Springsteen's tune, so I had to create my own. So here goes Kingdom in the Streets.
Come walk with me in the darkness, and as we walk along, I'll tell you quite a story, and I'll sing you quite a song. I'll sing of light and darkness, of victory and defeat, corruption on the mountains, and compassion in the street. It's a long night, and weary grow the feet that walk the long road, but the morning will come sweet. Yes, it's a long night, and the prince is in the streets tonight. We're walking to a city, chaos is its name. In its streets and alleys, there is hopelessness and shame, and the children cry for water, and relief seems out of sight, and they dream about tomorrow in the darkness of the night. Yes, it's a long night, and weary grow the feet that walk that long road, but the morning will come sweet. Yes, it's a long night, and the prince is in the streets tonight. Well, just outside that city, far from the blight and pain, is a holy mountain fortress where life seems calm and sane. There's feasting there and singing by tranquil waterfalls, and the street folks, oh, they never come there, 'cause they dare not climb the walls. At the gateway to the fortress, the man of sorrows cries, a prince in beggar's clothing, with compassion in his eyes. And if the mountain folk will not hear him, he will turn his feet around, and the one who should rule the mountain becomes the servant in the town. God, it's a long night, weary grow the feet that walk that long road, but the morning will come sweet. Yes, it's a long night, prince is in the streets tonight. Well, I see the kingdom coming, and I see a better day. There'll be no need for fortress walls, for there is a better way. The prince will lift the lowly, proud will know defeat. Don't look for the kingdom up on the mountain, 'cause it's coming in the street. It's a long night, weary grow the feet that walk the long road, but the morning will come sweet. It's a long night, and the prince is in the streets tonight. So there you are. Kingdom in the streets. I never quite know what to say after singing that. Like, okay, let's go on. What is our next piece?
Turn it over.
Oh, this is fun. This is a little sing along. I will sing a phrase, and then you will, if you're brave enough, sing it after me. I'll start like this. Turn it over and turn it round. Your turn. Turn it over and turn it round. In this country and in this town. In this country and in this town. Lose the old and gain the new. Lose the old and gain the new. Love and justice we will do. Love and justice. Now, so then there are some verses that I'll sing by myself, and this is a perfect song for Jessie Adams to be dancing like a crazy person all over wherever she happens to be today. Okay, let's see. Ow. Woo-hoo. Turn it over and turn it around. In this country and in this town, your turn. Lose the old and gain the new. Love and justice light. See, do you see by the light of the moon? We better make some changes, and we better do it soon. Better make some changes, and we better do it soon. Well, turn it over and turn it around. In this country and in this town, lose the old and gain the new. Love and justice we will do. I bet you that was fun to sing along with that nonsense, huh? One more verse I got. My turn to sing one more solo, and you can clap your hands and wiggle your ears if you know how to do that. Well, do you suppose we can work hand in hand, caring for all the people and caring for all the land? A long way to go, but I know how we will start. See all the world through a new humble heart. See all the world through a new humble heart. Well, turn it over and turn it around. Your turn. In this country and in this town, lose the old and gain the new. Love and justice we will do. Sing it! Last phrase. Love and justice we will do. Come on. Love and justice. One more time. Love and justice we will do. Your turn. Love and justice we will do. Okay. You doing all right, folks? Are you hanging in there? I hope everybody has good connections. Let me just say a word here. These concerts that we're doing every Wednesday are being sponsored by a nonprofit. It's called Interlude Retreats. And Interlude Retreats does a lot of interesting things. We do retreats for church musicians, especially in their mid-career. In fact, we just sent out some invitations to a virtual retreat that we're doing with church musicians this summer. And we sent out invitations to an interlude reunion. We've been doing these retreats for 10 years now. We have a couple of hundred people, at least, who've gone through the program. And we're going to have a reunion and have old friends meet up again on Zoom this summer. Besides doing these retreats, Interlude sponsors conferences, songwriters conferences, and sends me and my music to really small churches. A church of 9 people in Maine that wanted to announce to their town, here we are, a brand new church. A church of 50 people in Greenville, Texas, that decided that they wanted to do a concert to raise money and raise food for a local mission. And doggone it, we put 1,300 people in the Civic Auditorium in Greenville and raised a bunch of money and a couple hundred pounds of food. So, and this church had no money to bring in the artists. So Interlude helps us do those things. Interlude is sponsoring these concerts in a time when a lot of musicians are having some trouble finding work. I am eternally and phenomenally grateful for that. If you wish to donate to this work, and let me tell you, there have been some fabulous gifts given. I am overwhelmed by the people who have just given to us in not insignificant amounts.
I mean, any gift. I mean, a gift of a quarter, a gift of $1. We have one person who gives us $3 a month. But we know that that person cares and that person is engaged with us. And that's what matters. The heart and soul are here. So if you want to donate, please, there's a donate button there, or you can go to www.interluderetreats.org and donate to this work. Also, I've been told several times, if everybody would, this is cool, if everybody would go to our website, www.kenmedema.com, and download one song. Now, a lot of these songs that you're hearing this afternoon, or this evening, depending on your time zone, are on the website. So you can have them on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, whatever. So go to the website, download one song. That's all we ask. And that will help immensely. What's up next, Miss Sonia?
Next up is take a look at the flowers.
And I think we're going to redo the order here. We're going to do dragonfly instead of flowers, and then we'll do flowers after this. Many years ago, I was in Australia. My first trip to Australia. No, my second trip. And we went to the outback town of Alice Springs. It's an amazing place. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's this thriving, wondrous community where first Australians and white folk seem to find more and more ways of being together and supporting each other. The concert I did in Alice, we did off the back of a flatbed truck with a power generator about a block away to generate power for the keyboard. And before the concert, a young first Australian gentleman was leading me around town, showing me some of the sights of the town and catching the fragrances and the sounds and whatever. And in the middle of our walk, he said, "Wait, stop." And we stood there for about 10 seconds. And I said, "What?" He said, "My grandfather just came by." Now, his grandfather had been not living for a number of years. But he said, "I see my grandfather often. I see him walking behind the house. I see him on the street." You probably have a memory of someone who has passed. And sometimes you hear their voice. Sometimes you hear something in the house and you say, "Oh, that must be Mom." Or you have a dream, or you're in the middle of something totally other, and suddenly that voice comes to you, or an image comes to you of someone who has passed. My friend Amy Franks is a delightful singer. And several years ago, we did an album together of material. She sang, and I got to do actually one duet, which was pretty fun. But we wrote a song together after the passing of someone who was very, very dear to her. And she tells the story of a summer day when a little dragonfly landed on her shoulder. And she said, I felt like that dragonfly was a reminder of this person who I had lost. And so this song, for those of us who have lost someone close to us and have these times of remembering and reminding, this song is for you. It's also perhaps an interesting idea about that presence we call Holy Spirit. Dragonfly sitting on my shoulder, here for just a little while, then you will be gone.
Dragonfly, reminding us of one we've loved, with us for the briefest time, then called to travel on. Laughing one, sister, friend, and blessing, waking with the morning sun, relishing each day. Loving one, child of God and gift of grace, yesterday you walked with us, now you're gone away. Once we know she's near us, come to comfort us and cheer us. It's a gentle, sweet hello beyond goodbye. Now a holy hush surrounds us, for this gift of love has found us. We can see her gentle face in memory's eye. She is here in your sign, little dragonfly. Dragonfly, symbol of rebirth and change. You thrive and grow and find your strength in the brilliant summer sun. Dragonfly, so much of me to rearrange in the sunlight of revealing grace. There's so much to be done. Every day, health and hope discovering, love and joy recovering, till my face shines once again. Every day, learning, loving, leaping, in the laughing and the weeping, in the sunshine and the rain. All at once we know she's near us, come to comfort us and cheer us. The gentle, sweet hello beyond goodbye. Now a holy hush surrounds us, for this gift of love has found us. We can see her gentle face in memory's eye. She is here, and you're a sign, little dragonfly. Dragonfly, now leave my shoulder. Go see the world on fragile wings. We'll be looking out to see you once again. For you will teach us wondrous things. Now that once we know she's near us, come to comfort us gift of love has found us. We can see her gentle face in memory's eye. She is here and you're a sign. She is here and you're a sign. She is here and you're a sign. Little dragonfly.
Thank you, Amy, for that wonderful moment. And I actually was looking around on the computer the other day and I found the album and I thought, oh, I haven't heard this for a long time. So I pulled up the song and I just began to weep. Partly because of the memory of doing that project together, but partly because the song was just so beautiful. So Jesus said to his friends when they were talking about all kinds of worries that they had about money and how we're going to do this and who's going to be first, whatever. One of Jesus' famous quotes was, "Take a look at the lilies growing in the field. They don't toil, nor do they spin. And even Solomon in all his glory was not dressed like one of these." And so this is kind of a whimsical setting. Sometimes I've done a very quiet setting, but this is sort of whimsical.
Growing in the field, they do not toil and they do not spin at all. And yet I say to you, Solomon in all his glory was not dressed like one of these. God will take such care of the grass of the field, which today is growing and tomorrow is burned in the fire. Will she not take care of you? Has it not occurred to you? Little faith. Take a look at the flowers growing in the field. They do not toil and they do not spin at all. And yet I say to you, Solomon in all his glory was not dressed like one of these. Solomon in all his glory, Solomon in all his glory, Solomon in all his glory, was not dressed like one of these, was not dressed like one of these, was not dressed like one of these. No, 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 no. Solomon in all his glory was not dressed
Well, how are we doing, Miss Sonia?
Doing great. Next up is I See America.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we're almost at time. I think, as much as I hate to do it, I think we may have to put off I See America till next week. I did make a promise to one of our faithful viewers that I would do Kingdom and I See. So we got Kingdom. So would you indulge me, dear friends, by letting us do I See America next week? I want to do the Song is Alive as our final conclusion. Just before I sing the last Song is Alive, let me just say again, if you wish to donate to this good work, please feel free to do so. We are so overwhelmed with gratitude for the people who have contributed to this work, allowing us to do it week after week after week after week. This hour fills up a great deal of time for me. Practice time, looking at what the work is going to be. I must also tell you that if you are a member of a church that's looking for music for your virtual services, we've got a whole bunch of songs that are video recorded that could be ready to go for a Sunday morning service. So check with our office. Call Dave at 616-534-6571 or 1-888-KEN-KEN-KEN, or send us an email, ken@kenmedema.com, or message us on Facebook, and Beverly can let you know about some of those pieces. Again, thanks to several people, to Sonia, my videographer, Jane, who is always there with ideas and helpful critique and theological insights, to Robert at Fast Tracks, who makes these videos sound really, really, really good, and puts them all up on YouTube, to Beverly Vandermolen and David, who are my managers, and to Janelle Joppy, who writes the ads for these concerts. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all the watchers and listeners who are part of this. Now, the song is alive, and the middle verse, the verse is a story about a man I know, and his story goes like this. Oh, the song is alive everywhere. Oh, the song is alive everywhere. You are the ones who get to give the pitch, 'cause the song is alive everywhere. The song is sung by a man I know, who lived in a sweet Midwest town, sold his company, all set to retire. Maybe me and my wife will do some traveling around. And then it seems like a shop not far from his home went idle, the workers all fired. So he messed up his retirement and he bought that little shop, found a way to make it productive once again. Said it messed up my retirement, but that's pretty much okay. Can you imagine the glow on the faces of those workers when they heard the word, "You've been rehired"? Oh, the song is alive everywhere. Oh, the song is alive everywhere. And you are the ones who get to give the pitch, for the song is alive everywhere. If you got a story for that last verse, send it to me. Have a wonderful week. I'll look forward to seeing you in 1 week. Same time, same station. Bye-bye.